Welcome back, everyone, and
Yeah,
happy New Year
the
again.
same. Happy New Year. We're happy to be here again.
We're very happy to be here again. So, last week we shared our word of the year. We do a word of the week, but last week we did a word that represents the whole year. So,
Yes,
your word, Mama, was
inspire.
yes, which is a great word. And my word was is engage. And
Yes.
let me tell you, I'm already exhausted. I'm thinking I should switch my word because engagement is very exhausting. But I think it's a good word for me, and I
I
think our
think
word
so.
should challenge us.
Yes,
That's where we grow, right? When we're challenged, like 2020
that's
was a huge year of growth,
that's
and
right.
this leads us to our word of the week this week. When we think of 2020, what is our word, Dancing Grammy?
Our word is reflect, and we can spend a lot of time on that word, and we're very interested in what you think about reflect too.
Right. So we let us know that you're here. We know some people have signed in. So let us know that you're here in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. That's why we do this live. So we
Yeah,
can have you as part of our discussion. So let's talk a little bit about the word reflect. And we just thought it'd be a great word because whenever a new year starts or any kind of new beginning, I think it's a time to kind of pause, stop and look
yeah,
back and see what can we learn? What is there to learn from 2020? Because there were many lessons throughout the challenges. There were many lessons and many blessings.
yeah.
And that's what we want to focus on because we're all about positivity, right?
We are nothing negative. And I
Nothing.
remember every time the year ends, I like to go back and kind of review, even month by month. And I thought 2020 started out with a bang. And of course, being an optimist, what else would I think? And I was looking forward to hearing from America's Got Talent. And sure enough, I did. And
Wow.
they had me scheduled to go out for a show, which was unbelievable. I was excited but scared. And then all of a sudden, the virus hit. At
That's
first,
right.
I didn't really understand the magnitude of this terrible killer. But as days passed, and I could see people dying in nursing homes, the whole world exposed to it, I began to take it very seriously.
Right.
And we were given rules to follow. The senior living apartments were locked down. We had to wear face masks, do distancing. We had grocery deliveries. The world changed almost overnight. And when I look back on it, I try to think, did it bother me? And to be honest, Julie and everyone, it really didn't bother me. I was safe in my own home. I was doing what I love to do, writing. I was eating my snacks and everything. So I
The
would
tin
be,
was full of chocolate.
I know I was full of chocolate,
The
but
tin, yes.
I can't in honesty say that it affected me, but it
Mhm.
certainly did. The people I called who were alone, who hadn't uh, much to do, and uh, really the gravity of it sunk in little by little. How
Yeah.
about you, Julie? How did
Well,
you?
it affected me. I think it bothered all of us, and
Yes,
but it didn't change my life because I work from
yeah,
home as a
yeah,
writer. So I'm already at home
that's
doing
right.
my work, and so I was a bit isolated from what was happening. And I was in Florida for part of the time, so I was
Yeah,
walking on the beach. So I really, didn't feel affected. I almost felt guilty because I was so isolated and kind of away from all the difficulty because so
yeah,
many people struggled. And so, we can't minimize the hurt the pain, the sense of loss that so
No,
many people experienced.
it didn't hit us personally, and
Right.
we are very blessed.
We're very blessed. And so what we
Yeah.
like to focus on, as we do every week, is some positive aspects.
Yes.
So when
Yes.
we reflect back, and when you reflect back on 2020, we would love to hear what were the blessings. We would love to hear it in the chat. We've got some people
Yes.
in here.
Yes.
What were some of your blessings from 2020? And we're going to share some of ours tonight, because they're amidst the difficulty and the lockdown, there were some real blessings, personally,
Oh,
I think, just in general, for a lot of people. And so we want to highlight those. So do you want to start, Dancing Grammy, or would you like me to start?
you go ahead, Julie. You're
Okay.
on a roll.
Well, when I reflect on 2020, the word that keeps simmering, well, there are two words. I think it was a very revealing time.
Yes.
And it's also a time of opportunity. That's the word that keeps emerging. And what I mean by that is because we were shut down, because distractions were removed, we had an opportunity to see things clearly, to remove those distractions, and to see things maybe a little bit differently, to gain a new perspective. And the real opportunity for me personally came through technology.
Yes.
No, it's funny. Tom's having technical difficulty.
Oh dear.
So with technology comes difficulties, but technology is a blessing. And so what happened is I actually started doing online Bible studies, which I've been wanting to do for a while. So in many ways, 2020 expedited some things that had kind of been on the list of things that I wanted to do. And I also got involved in our online worship team at Traders Point at my church.
Yes.
And it was just a perfect fit. And I will tell you, I don't know the exact numbers, but let me tell you, we reached more people for Christ in 2020 than we ever have as a church.
I believe it, Julie.
Because people log on. People were stuck at home. They're searching for hope.
Yes.
So they would log on. And so, I mean, our numbers even on Easter were through the roof. As far as what we've had in person. So that was a huge opportunity, because as Christians, we're called to make disciples. The Great Commission is go make disciples.
Yes.
And that's what we were able to do through technology. So technology created a huge opportunity to reach people, and still does. Here we are.
I know.
We're not on the porch. Here we are.
Yeah. When you say the word technology, it challenges me. And that was one of my big challenges for 2020.
But you conquered it.
Well, don't brag, Julie, not yet. But I had to I had to learn technology in order to write my book. And of course, you were always there with phone call after phone call. But I learned so much technology, and it is a blessing. I didn't think of it that way before, but I am so grateful now that I had that time, because I go so fast. I don't think I would have slowed down long enough to even address technology or go as far as I have with my book, really. But
Amen. I totally agree.
I had blessings reaching out to people, talking to others, trying to give them a little comfort and a few laughs, which I like to do. And so the year went very well for me, despite the fact that my heart was breaking for many people who lost others. And for some reason or other, as always, God blessed me and left me in good health and able to reach out. I have to do that. It isn't something, that I just want to do, which I do. But I have a responsibility. I'm one of God's messengers, not as great as you, Julie, but He wants me to reach out and encourage others. And so I have a mission.
You absolutely do. We all have a mission. Go make disciples. And Mom, you are great at it. There's no
Yeah,
competition with reaching
it's,
people. We all have unique gifts.
yeah.
We all have a group of people that God has put in front of us to
Oh, I
reach.
love people, Julie.
And I
I
think
do.
opportunities. So what I'm hearing you say, it's been an opportunity for growth, and often
It has.
challenges are.
It
There
has.
are opportunities to grow. There are
Yeah,
also opportunities to trust.
yeah,
Whenever something unexpected happens or a challenge arrives, it's really an opportunity to trust in the Lord, because we don't know what's going to happen with, we haven't with 2020. And so we've got some great comments here I'm going to share. I love what
yes.
Yana said, the blessing of 2020, reconnecting with God, family, and
Oh, oh, dear Ayana, I
yeah.
love you, dear. I wish you the best for the new year.
Ayana got a new home in 2020. So
Oh,
she was
yes.
very
Oh,
blessed,
yes.
a new job, a new home. So a new beginning for Ayana. And I think this whole idea of reconnecting, that was one of the blessings for me. I had the opportunity to be with both of my kids
Yeah,
for weeks at a time, which hasn't happened in a long time.
that's right. Yeah.
Summer, I had Carolyn home for several weeks. At Christmas just now, I had Nate home. And so I think a lot of people can echo that, they felt maybe stuck at home, but may look back and see that as a real blessing that they
Oh,
had that
yes.
time with their families and their
Yeah.
kids, real quality time.
And we had a chance to be with Ayana when she first came here, too. Yeah,
Yes.
that was
I love
good.
you, Grammy.
Love you, too, dear. Love
Yes.
you.
I love Tom has been active in our Porchcast, again,
Yes,
reconnecting with family through
Bible
technology.
study.
And I've started these Bible studies, and these Bible studies that I do, they were just on Wednesday. I'm moving them back to Sunday nights.
Yeah,
It's been on my radar for a long time.
I
And
know.
because we were forced in quarantine and we couldn't physically be together, I thought, okay, well, now's the time.
That's
And
right.
so
That's
I've done
right.
like 27, 28 lessons, I think, online since we started. And we just keep showing up every week.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's
There's
what it's
Debbie
about.
on too, Julie. I see Debbie. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So,
That's right. And just a
and
lot of connection. I see what Tom Zoom calls a lot of Zoom. The word Zoom has
yeah,
created a whole new meaning. It's like in our vocabulary now.
I
A lot of people
know.
didn't know what Zoom was before 2020. And
I
just a
don't
lot
think
of
I could
wonderful ways.
zoom, but I'm zooming
You're
away,
zooming.
Julie.
Dancing Grammy is zooming.
I'm
Randy had
zooming.
technology issues at the beginning
Yeah.
of the year. I'm so proud of you, Randy. You're
Hi,
able to stay
Randy.
together with groups. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the real challenges of 2020 was isolation because
Yeah.
we were in
Yeah.
quarantine. We were not able to physically be together. And
Yeah.
so we had to connect. And what was the way to connect is through technology. So technology really opened up a whole lot of new doors. It opened up a lot of learning and a lot of
Yeah.
growth for people. So that is
Speaking,
certainly a
speaking
blessing.
of learning, that's one of the things that I would like to meet with other seniors who don't have the technology skills, who
Mhm.
can't Zoom. Uh, they're afraid of it, just like I was. And that's part of my future mission is to get a group together and learn skills so that they can be part of this new age. I mean, we want to be full participants. We don't want to be sitting in the rockers, uh, wondering if we'll ever see anybody on Zoom. We want to be up there Zooming. So
I,
that's one of
I
my
can't,
goals, Julie.
I can't picture you sitting in a
Yeah,
rocker just at
yeah,
home by yourself.
no,
That's never going to happen at Dancing Grammy. You
but
know what? I think you should we should do little videos of you teaching your fellow, what are you, nonagenarians,
yeah,
90
yeah,
sums,
yeah.
how to use the
Well, we'll
computer.
take 80s and 70s.
We'll take the
We'll take
80s.
anybody we can get.
Anyone who wants to learn, who thinks that technology is a barrier,
Yeah.
well, Dancing Grammy here can tell you otherwise. And
Oh,
maybe
I was the
teacher,
worst
maybe
one
that's,
ever. I didn't want to get rid of my typewriter, and you took it from me.
I
What a
did.
sad day. But look at me now. I can hardly wait to finish my devotions and get over to it. I'm raring to go. Put on Facebook, see what's going on around
He's on the
places.
Facebook even. So I think that's a great comment, because when just a backstory, when Dancing Grammy started to write, she had this old typewriter. And I went over to her place one day and I said, that thing's got to go. If you want to be a real, like, official writer, you got to learn how to use a computer. And there was a lot of resistance.
Oh, yes.
And change is difficult. Just like change in 2020 has been we've been kind of uprooted. That was a moment that you were uprooted because that typewriter is new. And I was trying to move you to the computer.
I know.
Processing.
No, I wasn't about to go.
It was a struggle. But look at what God has done through that struggle and what God has taught you. And really, that's, I think, the lesson for 2020 is, what have we learned? And that's something we
didn't give up, Julie. That's one of the things we've learned. You can't
never give up. What did you all learn?
Well,
during 2020, we'd love to hear in the chat. What was the greatest lesson in 2020? And I just think mine was that when God shuts things down, what appears to be closed doors, there is a new opportunity. I keep going back to that.
Opens.
And so my lesson is look for that opportunity. Instead of focusing on maybe the closed door or the disappointment or the difficulty, is, where is God pointing you now? What is the new opportunity that is opening? Because that's, for me, what my biggest lesson from 2020 was, because I just think the opportunities to reach people, and as Christians, we're called to make disciples. That's a great commission. Go make disciples. And what an incredible opportunity to make disciples during this very dark time when everything's shut down.
That the Follies are going to expand their volunteer work. We're not only going to entertain and make them laugh and ourselves, but we're going to go out and become regular friends and drop in and visit with people that are alone in their apartments, play games, talk about something, not each other, but we are going to expand the Follies. I can hardly wait.
I love this. And this is
a lot of ideas.
You got to get the back healed first. I love it. Looks like you already have someone interested in your class, Mom. Zoa loves the idea of teaching computer challenge seniors.
Oh, so yes. Oh, I'm going to look for you. I'll tell you that.
Yes. And I love what Richard said when we asked, what is your greatest lesson? I learned enduring, patience, and trust. And I mean, our devotion talked about trusting in the Lord, and challenges are really opportunities to trust. It's saying, I don't understand what's happening, and this is difficult, Lord, but I trust you that you're going to help us get through this.
Yeah.
2020 there were a lot of moments like that.
Yes.
Many moments. Elaine, look for opportunities born from disappointments. Amen, sister.
Yes.
And, Elaine,
I'm never going to give up, Elaine. Never.
Right. And it's so great. And I love that Elaine put this, because Elaine is one of my dearest friends. And
mine too.
And yours too. I'll share Elaine with all of you, but she's so wonderful. And the thing is that we're not meant to do this alone.
No.
When we had those dark days in 2020, and we will have them in 2021, to have somebody to walk through. And I had many phone calls with Elaine saying, okay, this is not good. But what is the opportunity? This is an opportunity to trust in the Lord. I don't know how many times we said that to each other this year.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to trust in the Lord. And at first it sounds almost rote, but after saying it and continuing to say it, you believe it. Like, it's true.
Yes.
You have to get it in your mind sometimes first, and just, and then it gets to your heart and you say, I'm just going to have to trust. I'm going to have to trust.
We don't want to go alone. We got to have a buddy, someone we trust, like you said, Julie.
Absolutely. I love what Ayana says here. My greatest lesson from 2020 is to look for God in the midst of challenge. Don't be distracted by all the various voices, but listen for God. Amen. And one of the blessings of 2020 were a lot of those voices, those distractions were removed so that we could hear more directly from the Lord, because some of those noises and the
Yeah.
things in our life that occupy our time were just shut down. And that was a blessing. I know it was hard, but it
I
was
know God
it was
wanted me to slow down. I've always thinking about the next job, the next thing I'm going to do, but slowing down has
Mhm.
given me a lot to think about, a lot
Mhm.
to pray about.
Right.
My prayers are even better than they were. Reflecting, this is the big word, Julie,
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
it's we need it in our lives, dear.
Right.
I'm
And when you
anxious
slow
to hear
down,
what
what
everyone has to reflect on.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad to be with you every week.
Yeah.
Uh, just talking with friends.
I know. And when you
Listening.
slow, I love what you said, Mom, because when you slow down, what it does is it creates space.
Yes, it
Because when
does.
you're going,
Yep,
your
yep,
thought, your mind, your everything is based on the next thing, right? But
yeah,
when you slow down, you actually create space to listen for God's voice. And back to
yeah.
what Ayana said, is hearing from God is, I think we're so busy. We're just busy people.
Oh, yes.
We don't take the time to listen for God's voice. We just do the next thing. And
Well,
this 2020 has stopped us. God stopped
yeah.
in such a
It's
dramatic
been a
way.
learning experience,
Mhm.
especially as I see it,
Yeah,
because I have slowed down with God. And
absolutely.
I know He was trying to reach me years ago, but I was always in a hurry. And
Yeah.
it's never too late, though. I
It's
mean,
never ever too late. I love what
yeah,
Randy says here. Randy
yeah.
does a lot of mission work at Second Presbyterian Church, an awesome church. And he's actually a deacon for Christmas Benevolence, which is a project that helps like 150 families at Christmas.
Oh, I love second.
So more time in the garden. Like just
Yeah,
that idea of gardening is slowing down, working the soil. I'm a big
yeah.
gardener.
Oh, yes.
In adjusting on a deacon during Christmas Benevolence, evolving in my reading, taking time to read. When was the
Yeah.
last time I took time to read?
I'm
And
reading now in the evening. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
I love Christmas benevolence.
I know.
We
Great project.
participated with the children, and that was such a happy time.
Mhm.
Uh,
And I love what Zoa says here. I've learned gratitude. So,
yeah.
despite the difficulty, to see and have gratitude is such a gift.
Oh,
And
yes.
thankfulness for people in my life, my health, physical
Oh,
blessings. And I agree, like,
yeah.
Mom, I'm so grateful that you've stayed healthy this whole time. And we're just fighting for you to get the
Yeah.
vaccine
I
as soon
know.
as
In time.
possible.
In time.
But you've been healthy, and we take our
Yeah.
health for granted
Oh,
sometimes.
no.
So
No.
praise the Lord.
We are thankful.
We're very
That's
thankful.
another big word in our lives.
Right.
We'll always be thankful, Julie.
Mhm.
Always. I
So
can't
we're
tell
thankful for all of you, and we're so grateful you've tuned in. And we
you.
hope
Yeah.
that you take time this week to reflect on 2020. Do a little
Yeah.
year in review. You know how they do those shows?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
your own show, do your own internal show on
Yeah.
what, do a little year in review, because I think a lot of people, have kind of labeled 2020 as such a bad year, and it's
Well,
20 the fire in the dumpster. And one of
yeah.
my friends, I loved what he said about the fire in the dumpster for 2020. He said, well, dumpster is where you throw trash to
Yeah.
get rid of it. And
That's
so
right.
that's actually a positive thing, right? We want to
Yeah.
burn what's in the
We
dumpster
want to get
and
rid of all
move
the trash.
on. And
Yeah.
so trying to see the positivity maybe in the fire in the dumpster,
Yeah.
I think is the key, and being reflective and looking at what were the real blessings of 2020 and what can we carry into this new
Oh, I
year.
know. We have
'Cause-
a brand new start. I
Mm,
love that idea. I guess that's why I like January 1st. No matter what has happened, we have a brand new start. So I can hardly wait to make it the best I can.
that's
And
right.
we have that opportunity as long as God is with us. There's no question that we can't do it. So let's start
Thank
out with that in mind And we will see you next week.
We will see you next week. Next Tuesday, 7:00.
Yeah.
We'll have a new word, but we just challenge you this week, and we hope that you reflect. Take time. Make some space to really reflect and have some good time with God. And
count your blessings. Those you had last year and those you're going to have this year. Yes. I know you will.
All right.
So,
well, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next Tuesday live.
Good night.
Take care. Have a great, great week.